What's going on, you gamers? Here we are back with some more Outriders. Today is Thursday and there's some more developers news. So if you want to know what's going on in the world of Outriders, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox. Then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I'll bring you all the latest and greatest in content and some fun hints, tips, guides and reviews when they're out as well. But for now, I'm here to tell you what they've updated in Outriders the game. Now, one thing I'd like to ask before we actually get into any of this is if you could drop a comment and let me know how you've gotten with the last patch. Are you finding that the loot is much better? I've had quite a lot of positive comments and hopefully it's definitely heading in the right direction. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had a few people telling me they've found a few extra glitches, like the drop pods actually not working properly and not dropping loot, and a few other people have seemed to kind of think it's not working as intended, but in general a lot of people are saying that it is in a much better state for legendary drops, so fingers crossed they're definitely heading in the right direction with that and continue to update things. But for now, what have they done with Thursday's update? Well, with this, the first thing they've done, which is quite nice, I don't know if it's going to go right or wrong, I'm guessing probably wrong again, seeing as last time, but they've rerun the appreciation package. Basically, they're saying you should now all have received a new God Rolled weapon that you haven't previously obtained. Obviously, if you have everything, I'm guessing it'll be a random one, but if you are missing an item or missing some items, you should have a God Rolled bit of gear in your stash or on your character. Fingers crossed it's gone right this time, but I'm sure some things will definitely go wrong because that seems to be the way with most updates. Now, what they've stated with this is whatever you got previously will still obviously be there, but this is just an additional one to hopefully kind of get it right for more of the community. And again, anyone who didn't receive it should be getting that frustration emote. Obviously, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, knowing how frustrated people have actually been with this, but you should have received that with this update and a little bit of extra titanium. Now, another thing is balancing. They're saying that the team is currently scoping out some further balancing buffs to underutilized skills. For me, this sounds really good because the last buffs were absolutely amazing. The new pyro buffs are just bang on. It makes you feel really strong, and how they kind of described the game to be in the first place. I'm sure that the Technomancer's buffs were really good as well. I haven't tried them yet because I haven't got the legendary gear sets and such, but they seem to be really strong, and again, it all seems to be heading in a little bit of a better direction. Buffs rather than nerfs suits me to the ground. It really is good that they're looking into these things now. Now, another thing they're doing is looking at the multiplayer and connectivity. Basically, they must know there is quite a bit of an issue as they're describing rubber banding quite a lot and packet loss, meaning that they know there is definite issues. Fingers crossed they can kind of sort out what they can. Obviously, they don't have dedicated servers, so I don't know how much they can do in general, but anything that they can make a fix for is really good, and any time they can make improvements is always welcomed. Now, I'm going to keep this one a little bit short and sweet, but they've mentioned quite a few of the problems that are still persisting. I'm just going to pick out the main ones that I feel are kind of a significant issue. The first of which is they're saying that the Xbox still has some problems signing in for certain individuals. This has been going on for quite some time now, so fingers crossed they will figure out what to do with this, because if you are completely locked out of the game, it's just about as bad as it gets really, and there's nothing you can do. Obviously, I don't know if you'll come back to the game if you've been locked out for months on end, so hopefully it will get fixed soon, but like I said, I don't know if people will return if they've not been able to play it in the slightest at all. Another one is certain mods not working, and they're saying this is happening in particular when you're the multiplayer host. This is a little bit odd. I've not noticed it myself, but maybe it's from one of the patches. So they're saying their issue is under review and they're going to have a little look whilst trying to fix some of the multiplayers through improvements. Next up, and this one I do not know how they're just bringing this one up now. Scrap Grenade mod stops working after cutscenes. Issue is currently being investigated. I've got nothing for that one. I can't back them up in the slightest. This has been going on for an absolute age. Everyone knew about it. They must have known about this. It's definitely taken a while to kind of even register it on their radar, but hopefully now they will fix it, because that was just ridiculous. Next up, we've got players dying while a shield is active. I have definitely been told about this by quite a few players. Hopefully they'll fix that, because otherwise it's going to make a few of the mods and it's going to make Trickstar absolutely rubbish. There is no point in being able to do a shield and being able to make sure you've got that overshield on, and especially if you've got a build that completely is reliant on it. That's one of the key features of Trickstar, obviously. If you're still dying while that's on, then you're kind of missing one of the functionalities of your complete class. So the issue is currently being investigated. Rather than shields not properly mitigating damage, this issue may be caused by either the UI not catching up properly, or it may be a case of certain shield mods continuing to proc their shield after death has occurred under certain edge cases. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest. Certain edge cases. Basically, it's not working properly. There's still an issue with shields. Fingers crossed they're going to fix it soon. There are other things on here, but mostly they're pretty much all issues that we already know about. For myself, I would just like to hear from you guys. Just let me know how you're getting on with the new legendary loot drops. Are you finding the increase good? Have you felt that the game's improving? Because hopefully they are. Like they said, they're trying to fix a bit multiplayer. Do you feel it's heading in the right direction, or have you had enough and you've already left the game? As always, guys and girls, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care. I'll see you on the next day.